Are you ready, Amanda? We're recording. I see red lights. I see red lights across the board. We're gonna
The
go.
lights are
They
shining.
have no headphones.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's recording.
You're shining.
If not,
Somebody forgot headphones.
if not, then we'll be back here tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Prove nothing.
Well, you don't have headphones, Michael. You said you had
Well,
some.
I have some.
Back to our podcast.
But it's raining.
It's very.
I don't know where you guys are watching from or listening from.
We're in a monsoon.
You know what is it?
blowing.
What's it called?
Bomb cyclone.
Yeah, the bomb cyclone.
Wow.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it.
I feel like I'm in the Twisters movie.
It's not a twister, but
Feel it, chase it.
Yep. Exactly. If you feel it. Yeah. Anyway, it is cold, dark, and it is windy.
Yeah.
So hopefully the weather's better when you're back. I am ready. I took a trip to Texas. I'm ready to go back to Texas in that 75 degree, 80 degree weather every day,
no
sunshine.
rain and wind.
No. It was amazing. You went to bed and you knew exactly what it was going to be the next day. There was no question about it.
You know what it's going to be here tomorrow.
Rainy and windy.
Wet. Yep. Yep. Wet. Exactly.
Levi, no comments. Nobody cares.
Yeah, probably like
Yeah, you Arizona-
75 in Phoenix.
Yeah, no one likes you, Arizona people, Levi, so don't even bother commenting.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to block you from this episode. You didn't get to watch.
it.
Shauna, no talent.
We are continuing talking about the plagues. We're going to finish up the majority of them. And then, yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that on the camera.
Probably not.
But it's pretty impressive.
It's getting accurate.
It's pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. You know, Washington doesn't have those kind of storms very often. And so when we do have them, it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we left off with the livestock and the boils, and so now we're headed into the plague of hail. As you already know, Pharaoh has not been very helpful at this
He's not cooperating.
No, so they go once again before Pharaoh. Let my people go. And of course, his response is no.
No.
And it says, therefore, at this time tomorrow, I will send the worst hailstorm that has ever fallen on Egypt, from the day it was founded till now. So it was the worst hailstorm, and it will always be the worst hailstorm.
Do they have bad hailstorms normally?
I don't know.
In Egypt?
Yeah.
I do not know. I
They
never went to Egypt. I avoided that one.
Okay. No, you should have gone and figured out
No.
how
I have
much.
friends that went. I'll ask them.
You know, I just,
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
you know, God just does things to completion. You know, if He's going to do a hailstorm, He's
It'll
going
be
to
a
do it right.
big one.
Yeah,
In the eyes of humans, we would call it overkill.
but He gets the job done. It's like,
Always.
okay,
Always.
when I said it's going to be a hailstorm, it's going to be a hailstorm.
He sends a message.
He
When
does. He does. And and Moses tells him, he says, hey, this is what's coming. If you do not get your slaves and livestock under cover, they will
Just let you know, man.
And I did think it was interesting that as you keep reading, the Egyptians that feared the word of the Lord, guess what they did?
Hurried.
We
They
gotta get people moving here.
We're out of here.
Which you know, again, at some point, if Moses is saying it, after the third plague, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
yeah, I'm gonna
I would
go.
agree. Anytime I was hanging out and I saw Moses and Aaron walking back in, I was like, we gotta follow him.
Yeah.
Something crazy is
What's
about to
going
happen,
on?
and we need a heads up.
Yeah, I gotta go listen to what they're
Yeah,
saying.
because this is gonna affect the rest of us.
Yeah.
We gotta get to Goshen, was it Goshen?
Goshen.
What did they say? We gotta get to Goshen.
Yep.
Doesn't do nothing bad happens there.
Yeah. Yep, and the only place it did not hail was the land of Goshen. Where the Israelites were. And it says, throughout Egypt, hail struck everything in the fields, both people and animals. It beat down everything growing in the fields and stripped every tree, which is just important to understand because that was their food source.
Yep.
So God destroyed it.
Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Literally in the blink of an eye.
Yep. And then, so Pharaoh summons Moses and Aaron. This time I have sinned, he said. The Lord is in the right, and my people are in the wrong. Pray to the Lord, for we have had enough thunder and hail. I will let you go. You don't have to stay any longer. And then Moses, once again, which you gotta wonder how many times Moses is gonna fall for this. Because at some point I'll be like, the hail's gonna stop when we leave.
Yeah.
Not before.
Not
So yes,
after.
he goes out and he prays, and what happens? The hail and everything stops. And what happens? Well, same as always. Then, when Pharaoh had saw that the rain and the hail and thunder stopped, he sinned again. He and his officials hardened their hearts, so Pharaoh's heart was hard, and he would not let the Israelites go, just as the Lord had said to Moses. So we're not done yet. So hail wasn't good enough.
Nope.
I wonder how. Like Moses obviously isn't surprised because God told him, but it's just like, can we skip to the end here?
Yeah. We go to the last plague.
Yeah, can we? Which one is the one where he's gonna let us go?
Yeah.
Because surely you have a plan here.
Yeah.
Just knowing how Moses was not afraid to ask questions of the Lord.
And
What are we doing here?
Yeah, what's the plan here, God?
yeah, I mean seriously, at some point you gotta be. I'd be like,
Well, especially
Lord,
again,
how many times
Moses
can you let me go back there?
Yeah.
And Moses
He's
in
not
his
going to do
history.
anything. He's not going to let us go. He's going to tell me okay, and then I'm going to pray.
Psych.
You're gonna have to. He was probably getting a little extreme. Like, God, you might have to wipe this one out. He's not gonna let us go.
No, it's not working.
Yeah.
And then, then on the flip side of the coin, you got Pharaoh. Golly, how many times these guys going to keep coming? You know what I'm saying?
And
Yeah.
why do you keep saying, yeah, go ahead and go, and then like, never mind. Like, just say no.
Because
Yeah.
God
Say no,
hardened
you
his
can't go.
heart.
That's true.
But
That's what I think.
But
That's
it is
what I talked about in the
interesting
commentary.
because some say that Pharaoh hardened his heart, and other times it says God hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that goes back and forth.
Yep.
I did think it was interesting though that he said that when Pharaoh saw the rain and the hail and thunder had stopped, he sinned again.
Oh.
Which is interesting to me. Okay, so I guess when him not letting those people go, he was sinning against the Lord, which I hadn't really put that into.
Makes sense though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're being commanded by it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
To let him go.
Yep.
Moses isn't speaking on his own free will here. Let them go because I told you to. Not his doing.
All right, so now we're gonna roll right on into the locusts because the hail wasn't good enough. We gotta get the locusts in there.
Because anything that didn't get wiped out by the hail,
Here comes the locust.
here comes the locust to finish it off.
And there's kind of a slight turn here. Okay, so I've been in Texas where they have. Well, back up. When we were going to Arizona, and they had all these plagues of these crickets, or what were they called? Some kind of cricket. Cannot remember what they were called. There's some kind of cricket. Giant cricket.
Oh, are you talking about the cicadas?
Nope, they were a different one.
No, I think you're just making something up.
Nope, I was not. I have never seen so
Arizona?
many. Well, it was.
So it's a southwestern
it was-
cricket. That's what we're looking at here.
No, it was on the way to
Where?
Arizona. It was like in New Mexico.
Between Washington
Okay, so-
and Arizona, check all the states.
So we're looking for some.
But they
For
were everywhere.
crickets. Okay.
Yeah. And they were, and I mean, they were big crickets. I mean, they were like that. I mean, they were good
Were
sized
they
crickets.
loud then too?
Nope.
Oh.
They weren't. But they were just crawling on everything, walking everywhere. Cars had driven all over them, so everything was just, and it was not like what was described here.
Right.
But there for a minute when I'm looking at all these,
Like,
I'm
I
like,
can kind of see it.
I can kind of see how that would be
Yeah.
gross. You know what I'm saying? Because they were just, I mean, they were on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're all, well, that's what I thought you were talking about cicadas because that's how they.
Usually yes, but it was some kind of cricket. I can't remember. It was all over the news for a while, but it was pretty intense, and it doesn't happen very often. It just happened that this one year, all of these crickets hatched. Is basically what happened.
Talking about the camel cricket.
No.
We're figuring out what cricket.
I
I'll
don't think
give
it
it back to
really
you.
matters what kind of cricket.
It matters.
But
You
anyway,
get the idea.
going back to the plague, when I was looking at all these crickets, I'm going, okay, I can kind of see how that'd be
Yeah.
disgusting, and it was nothing compared to
They have.
what they had going on. But I've also been in Texas when they had the cicadas and stuff too down there, and that is just as nasty too. So I'm not a big fan of locusts, and they do come through.
Neither are the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big fan. And they
Not
do come
afraid to
through,
say it.
and they eat everything. I mean, it just destroys it all.
Facts.
But what I find interesting here is now Pharaoh's officials said to him, "How long will this man be a snare to us? Let the people go, so they may worship the Lord their God. Do you not realize that Egypt is ruined?" So like I said, there's kind of a turn here, because up until this point, his officials have been on his side.
Yeah, they backed him up.
Yeah.
Their hearts were hardened too.
Uh-huh.
And now they're like,
Like,
no.
get rid of this guy.
And then they walked back in again. It's like they're not gonna let this go.
And for some reason the locust did it. The hail wasn't good enough,
No.
the flies wasn't good enough, the frog wasn't good enough, but the locust, that's what did it.
And that's what it done it.
I feel like the blood would have done it.
Mm.
I
No.
think that.
Nope, it was the locust.
I know, but I
It
just
was
feel
the
like,
locust.
like they were meat, but the blood.
Yeah, well, the locust did pretty much wipe out all their food.
Yeah, that was it.
That's why.
And I'm just saying the blood came
Yep.
first.
Yeah. Why? I know.
Yep. But once again, we do the whole thing. Moses prays, and Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He doesn't let him go, and so we have one more plague before we get to which I consider the major plague. We have the plague of darkness. Now, I do understand this a little bit because wow,
I was afraid of that.
Oh,
we
no.
just lost power, people,
We lost power.
and I'm pretty sure you can't see us. Oh, and we're back.
No, we're not
No, we're
recording.